is starting the stream.
Started then.
It is started. It started right now. We're on the stream talking right now.
Started then. Just do it.
Hello, I'm a wizard who can never get his hat to look correct, and this is APGamingREAL. Welcome to the 20th episode of this fucking show. I don't know why we're still broadcasting. I was supposed to hold everybody at the end of the last episode to talk about what we're doing in the future, but literally no one has been like, Arthur, I just haven't been enjoying my time. I don't know what we're doing. So maybe at the end of this episode, Finley will pull me aside and just be like, Arthur, I'm not having fun. We'll see. We'll see. If there's any surprise endings next episode, it'll definitely 100% be Finley's fault.
Spoiler alert, I am having fun.
Fuck. Wait, no, yeah. Wait.
How dare you competently put together a role-playing game, Arthur?
You're the one that put the game together, jackass. I was like, Dave, look, I'm so busy. I don't know if I can find other cast members. And you're like, Arthur, I've brought an entire team of superheroes with me. And I'm like, are you the Incredible Hulk now, Dave? What's going on?
No, I'm Nick Fury. Come on.
Oh my God. In this situation, I'm Nick Fury.
No, I'm Nick Fury. You can be that cat.
I'm not the Flurkin. My cat is the Flurkin. No, this works out. My cat Amore is a Flurkin. I'm Nick Fury. The cat constantly tries to eat me. You're the Incredible Hulk.
Speaking of Avengers, have you guys seen that 90s trailer of Avengers?
No, but did you see the theory that Ant-Man will crawl up Thanos' butt and then supersize himself?
Even the Russo brothers, their Instagram profile pic was a Venn diagram that had like a middle picture of Ant-Man and just like right butt cheek, left butt cheek. Their official Instagram, like their profile pic was that. I'm like,
you gotta embrace that shit, dude. Because if you don't, people are just gonna make a mockery of your show.
Dude, but the 90s Avengers trailer is so good. They like
I will check it out.
They recast it. There's Keanu Reeves in there. They got fucking Tom Cruise. Mila Jovovich.
Is Bruce Willis is going to be in there?
Oh my God.
No.
Arnold Schwarzenegger would have to be in it 100%. Gosh, you'd make a really good Hulk too.
Be the green version of the Hulk?
Yeah.
No, the Hulk is what's his name? Guy from Jurassic Park.
Sam Neill?
No. Fuck, why am I forgetting his name? The Life Finds a Way guy. What's his name?
Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, Jeff Goldblum.
He's the Hulk. He's
the Hulk? Yeah. Oh I could see it being Bruce Banner, but not the Hulk.
And then Keanu Reeves is Doctor Strange.
That makes sense. Shit, awesome. Wow, that actually is pretty good.
Denzel Washington is Black Panther.
I could buy that from 90s Denzel Washington. Yeah.
There's like a video. I'll post it in chat.
Okay.
I don't think he could pull off Black Panther now. I feel like he's gone weird places artistically. Nobody agreeing, disagreeing? All right, look, let's do some intros. What you should know is that before the show, Drumurboy dropping all these sick beats. Did you just post 3? No, you tried to drop a link, didn't you? Send me the link and I will send it to chat, because let me tell you something. There's so much link protection on my channel, I'm not even sure if I can post links.
What? Why? Why would you have?
You don't remember that shit?
I know. Look, Dave can post the links because.
Let me tell you something, Dave. I want to remind you that like 3 years ago when we were streaming together, there were people that would like make new Twitch accounts specifically with like our names in it, like Arthur is stupid 69 69 69, just so they could get up on the follow list real quick for like 10 seconds. People were making names called like Ren kills Solo. And then there were like 10 million people spamming links in chat. They're like, check out my quick link real quick. And it was always like some sort of malware, spider bot bullshit. All right, let me see here.
I mean, I always had good mods, but yeah.
In a world.
No, stop, fan made.
No, I do remember.
Yeah, so ever since then, I fucking locked that shit down forever. No one will post links.
Should make us all VIP. That's what you should do.
Dave is like a something.
mod or something.
I don't know.
But yeah,
Another
I mean,
one.
Dave posted something last week. That's what I was saying.
I don't have a huge number of moderators. That's because people don't do shit anymore. My policy of scorched earth, wrecking everything, has made life very easy for me. My moderators occasionally tell me that someone spams like "fuck you" in chat, and I'm like, oh, okay. Well, you dealt with it while I was looking. Nice job. Speaking of nice jobs, let's talk to someone who has a nice job. I actually don't know anyone here that has a nice job. Dave, all right, hands up, class style. We'll call on you.
I got a nice job.
Sure.
What up, everyone?
I don't know. I've heard you complain sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, but my job is my own. You know, like I can do whatever I want with it. So, hey everyone, what up? It's your boy, Long and Thick. Today we're going to be doing some role playing on APGamingREAL's channel. If you like and subscribe and throw a Twitch Prime subscription his way, you will get 33% off your next order of reality, which
What?
you can put through this channel. Ordering reality will get you a cold dose of bitterness and some other things, but not right now because I've actually had a pretty good week.
Don't worry. If you need a
my
cold
week's
dose of
cool.
bitterness, I'll step in for you. It's all right. I got plenty to spare.
Yeah, so last time we played, I was on death's door. I'm feeling a lot better these days.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was an entire week of drugs. But my wife was also sick, so we had like it was weird. Like we both look at it fondly, but at the same time, we're just like, yeah, we were pretty close to dying. So you know, fondness, yeah. But yeah, everything's going good for me. I'm finalizing the new studio at work. Yeah, we've got everything going on. Doing good. I've been playing a lot of Outward. I started that up. That game is tough, dude. That's a tough game.
Is it good though?
It's really interesting because like it kind of reminds me a lot of like imagine if you played Mountain Blade but you didn't have anyone there to help you. It's kind of like
oh my
that.
god.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't want to imagine that. That's awful.
But imagine the entire time you were in the mode where you're in like a fight with people rather than like the overworld stuff. It's a little like that. Like it does things like, you died and you get taken somewhere, like a friendly stranger will help you and you wake up in like a place, or you get put into a dungeon or whatever. So it's not like when you die, you have to load a save. The game just sort of moves you around to different places and you just sort of wake up. The very beginning of the game, it's like, yo, you're in debt, motherfucker, go get some money. And I'm just like, how the hell am I going to make money? And then it like forces you out into like this weird world and shit like that. And you have to like fight bandits and sell their gear and shit. It's cool. But it's also very difficult. The combat is insane because it's not like a regular RPG where you gain levels and stuff like that. You're just always the same skill set that you currently are at the beginning of the game. You can get like you can go to like an NPC trainer and they'll teach you skills, but it's not like you get better with short swords or better with a spear or anything like that. It's like what you are at the beginning of the game is what you are for the rest of the game. But it's mostly just like a hoarding simulator because you're just like, man, I'm over encumbrance, but I want to sell all this shit so I can make some money and actually live in this game world. So yeah, it's interesting. You can basically be a merchant and just sort of trade stuff with people. There's like magic in the game, but in order to get magic, you have to like give up your HP. Like you have vitality, and in order to get magic, you have to siphon away your HP in order to have like an MP pool. It's an interesting project, yeah. And it's $40, so you can't really go wrong, honestly. But just be warned, if you're going in there expecting it to be like, an easy game to play, there's no difficulty slider, so it's just like, yeah, you're gonna get fucked like straight away. Like it's pretty rough. It's a very difficult game. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, obviously the other thing is the Division too. But
I was about to say, how about that Division?
They have another content drop this Friday. They're gonna have like a new world tier dropping, and they're doing a bunch of fixes to weapons and shit. So that'll be fun. They're finally making skill mods actually viable again, which is good. And yeah, I don't know, that game's gonna be fun. They're releasing a raid pretty soon too. I think on like the 8th or something. Which would be a lot of fun too. But yeah, I don't know. The Division's just a good time, man. Sure, everyone here is playing it except for
me.
I don't
I'm
know,
not.
Arthur, you're not playing.
I'm not. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I'm not playing either.
I'm barely playing anything, man. I'll talk about it on my turn. I mean, don't worry. I'll talk about everything on my turn. Dave, you got anything else to talk about?
Yeah, I don't know. I think that the Borderlands stuff is interesting, but I don't know. I'll just wait until that comes out before
Dude, did you see the presentation?
On it. I did. I watched it live. It was cringy as fuck.
Yeah. Oh god.
Oh yeah.
You know how like not cringy the last year of E3 conferences was? Like relatively compared to previous years, that was not cringy at all. I think they saved all that and injected into this because goddamn.
Yeah, like the only other real interesting announcement they made was Risk of Rain 2, but
oh yeah, and I've been watching some streams of that, and that looks actually pretty dope.
I mean, the biggest regret of my life was when Risk of Rain was looking for the original one was looking for publishing. I looked at it and went, "Nah, who would like this game?" That was the biggest mistake I've ever made in terms of like a business decision in my life. But other than that,
yeah, you fucked up.
I don't know. That game would just be fun. So yeah.
Man, that Borderlands card game that got dramatically overshadowed by a 20-minute card trick.
Look, man, let me tell you something. How are people getting excited about Borderlands 3? It looks exactly like Borderlands 1 and 2 with no gameplay changes or upgrades at all.
Which is fine. Borderlands 2 is great.
Yeah, Borderlands,
it's a decade old, man.
I mean, they're doing some stuff. There was a couple of leaks about like the game and what's going to be in it. Like, for example, now like you can customize the guns themselves and put in different parts and stuff. Yeah. It's really cool. But you know, it's just, and you know, you can travel to different planets and galaxies now in Borderlands, and like it's just a lot bigger in scope and shit. But I don't know. I'm pretty partial to looter shooters myself, so they're the right type of game for me. Yeah.
Like even the pre-sequel was like, it was meh, but it was still pretty good. Like the Borderlands games have all been pretty good. None of them are like super amazing awesome, but none of them have been really bad.
I think the biggest problem with Borderlands is the pacing issues in terms of gameplay, because like you watch someone play like Borderlands 1 now and you're just like, the amount of time you spend going from one place to another in that game is significantly large. Like walking from one mission to another shouldn't be the game, but it is, so whatever. But yeah, I don't know. The writing's always been top notch in those games. There was a time where Gearbox was run by like people with a what's the word I'm looking for? People with an opinion on stuff, and it influenced their work in a lot of ways. Like especially when it comes to like, you know, popularized opinions about like gender and some other things like that, and that influenced their work quite heavily. But you know, the pre-sequel was real good about it. So they went like, and so I don't have any problems with like Borderlands 2 had the biggest writing kerfuffle in my opinion, but yeah, Borderlands 3, I think it'll be fun. You know, the only issue is like I like the idea that there is another game store out there that's competing with Steam, but at the same time,
they're awful.
Like, I mean, the game store itself, they're not consumer friendly right now. That'll obviously change with time, but right now I would not recommend anyone buy anything from them because they don't support like consumer friendly regulations and stuff. And having said that, competing with Steam and just like taking away its content via purchasing rights and minimum guarantees and stuff like that is one thing. But, if you want to compete in the hearts and minds of consumers, you need to offer them a choice. And by gobbling up exclusives to put on your store is not competing. Is not competing. You're not competing anymore. You're literally just like defining where people should purchase stuff. And
buying your way into the arena is not like, it's not even competitive.
Yeah,
they're buying their way in.
Well, they're buying their way in. They're throwing their money at the thing. But it's like if you have the resources to spend all these millions of dollars securing exclusive game stuff, you have the resources to make your Steam have basic functions, like I don't know, a fucking shopping cart, or not be spyware, or what. It's like showing up to a drag race in a fucking golf cart.
They could, but they don't.
Well, I mean, the problem that they're going to face, and the problem that Steam doesn't face, is overhead. Because Epic has one of their major investors is Tencent. Now, Tencent owns just about everything in the free world. So when it comes to doing things like competing with regulations and stuff like that, it's a very slow process to update things, whereas Steam is privately owned, so they can update however the fuck they want, and it's no problems. But here's the thing: if I was to run the Epic Game Store, they're doing the exact same thing that I would do, which is to say, offering minimum guarantees for exclusive rights. Having said that, though, an entire year of a product without consumer choice is very difficult to get behind. If, say, it was like, I don't know, 60 days or 30 days, you might see a lot more people being a bit more amicable with the storefront, but that's just me. Anyway, sorry. Drumurboy, how's your booty face?
Yeah, booty face is fine. Shade a little bit. Got a dope new t-shirt from a friend of the stream, Posh Panda. He might show up in chat every once in a while, but looks like a mimic. It's like a t-shirt mimic.
You're way too low for the camera to pick that up. You're almost certainly. Okay, fine. All right. I'm just telling you, man. Yeah. All right. Your shirt now does look like a mimic. I actually like the fangs.
Yeah. It's really good. Put out a new song on roleplay.bandcamp.com. It's a big old bombastic drummy thing for a Court of Swords. It's $1 if you want to go buy it. That money goes directly to me. So if you like it, buy it.
That's short and sweet. You got anything else?
Playing BioShock on the weekends. Just got to Fort Frolic. Gonna get some.
Is that in BioShock 1 or 2?
That's 1. I'm gonna see some Xander Cohen action. That's the thing that Nullspeak designed. So excited. It's gonna be good.
Yeah.
Spooty, what's up?
Yo, I like BioShock, man. I'm glad you're playing those. If I get time, I'm gonna watch some of that. I think I haven't played those games in forever. Yeah,
they're real good, man. There's a bunch of stuff that I didn't remember going in.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a whole cult in Arcadia that I didn't remember. I was like, oh yeah, this is now knowing the people that I know at like people that designed the game and people that worked on their previous works. I'm like, this is so on brand for them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I felt I was kind of lucky because I actually played BioShock 2 first. I think the reason I did was because I can't remember, it was probably on sale or something like that for cheap, so I just bought it to play it. And a lot of people didn't like that one, but
that's the one with the multiplayer, right?
It's the one where you play as a Big Daddy, I think, right?
Yeah, it's the second one based in Rapture, and people were just like, "We've seen Rapture,
yeah,
I wanted something else." It's not as a bad game. It's just like,
yeah,
it wasn't bad, but it didn't get a very good reception. But then I played the first one, and the first one is genuinely a better game. So I really enjoyed it. And then I don't know
What was the Infinity?
Infinite. At first, I didn't like it. At first, I didn't like it very much. I thought it was kind of hitting you over the head with its story, but so I put it down for a while and then came back to it. When I came back to it, the gameplay was fun enough to get me to continue playing the story, and the story does get better towards the end.
Have you played the DLC for Infinite?
No, never did the DLC.
It's very good. At least the Burial at Sea ones were really good.
Yeah, I mean,
you mean that noir one? That's the noir thing, yeah.
Yeah, but it ties up some really cool threads.
Right.
Yeah. But other than that, I've been trying Bethesda's new mobile Elder Scrolls game.
Oh yeah, the Wait.
Is that the
Skyrim for Apple Watch?
The Blades. What is it called? Blades, I think.
Yeah.
It's about what you would expect it to be. It's just not very good.
That's a shame, man, because like Fallout Shelter was really good.
Yeah. I was hoping, I mean, I'm still playing, like I'm not tired of it yet, but like
this thing. Yeah, that's that. So Epic released a mobile game like a fucking million years ago. I don't know what it was called, but it was very similar in scope where like the idea is that you go through a castle.
Right.
And you have one life. Excuse me. You have one life.
Infinity Blade?
And something like that. And then when you die, like you fight one person at a time and you do like, sword fights with one person. And when you die, which you will inevitably do, you choose what you want your son or whatever to inherit. And then you play as this, like the ancestor of your first character. And with an item that you inherited from the first character.
That's not technically what happens, but yes.
That's
what they say.
I don't know.
There's a novelization of what actually happens written by Brandon Sanderson called Infinite Blade Redemption, Infinite Blade something else. Storyline is actually way better than the game. So it's just the same. When the guy dies, it's not transferring to his son. It's literally just his corpse getting up, walking away, waiting to regenerate, and then coming back to fight again.
Oh, really?
It's fucking wild. It's just like, yep, I have to keep going until I get that guy. I gotta kill him real bad, so my soul can't leave my body. I just wait till my body grows back. I'm just so angry that my body keeps growing back, and I'm like, what? Wow, you have to be really angry to do that.
Wait, they made an Infinity Blade 2 and 3?
Yep.
What the fuck?
And there's a novel that goes from 1 to 2 and 2 to 3.
Is the novel any good?
Yeah, novels are great. They're better than the game.
That's
Brandon Sanderson. Stormlight Archives guy.
In the Bethesda game, the most difficult enemies that I've had to fight are the skeevers, the big rats, and wolves.
That sounds like a Skyrim game.
I would say the most difficult enemy you have to fight is yourself.
But the reason is because when you're fighting a human, they are always within arm's reach of your weapon. With the skeevers and the wolves, they stand back. They're even outside of spell range, and they jump in, and you have to like time your swing.
Oh, so it's not easy mode anymore. Got it.
Right. But when you're fighting like a Draugr with like heavy plate armor, you're just like, oh, I can see him starting to swing, so there's my block button, and now I hit him. Okay.
I really wanted them to go like Skyrim Go version of it, where you have to like swing your phone around like a sword.
Oh my god.
I would love that shit. I can't wait for the Switch to have that kind of functionality.
But then it's just like every other, you're building a fucking town. Oh, you're getting gold and building materials. I build a town, so I can build a blacksmith. Now I can build an alchemy shop. Now I can build a blah, blah.
That's what it should have been, though. It should have just been like town building. No, like you can go and venture if you want, but like the majority of that game should have been like building your fucking town, because that's sick.
They should have basically made it Fallout shelter where you could send guys out to adventure for you. Like,
Yeah.
they should have made you the Jarl, and you're rebuilding your town after a dragon attack or something, and then maybe work a Civil War type story in there where you could get more territory from, like...
Don't they have town building in that game? I thought there was like a town building aspect in that game.
There is, but
it's just timed. It's not really. That's not the game.
Everyone's town will look exactly the same.
Okay.
Like it should have been. There was a. What was it?
Like you're not placing buildings in where you want them to go. There are ruins in your town, and you can make the ruins whatever you want. So
was it Dragon Quest? The one where you had like it's like an RPG, but then you also had the town building aspect.
Oh, you mean Dragon Quest Builder?
Builders,
Dragon Quest 11 or something.
Let me tell you something. Let's go
Builders.
all the way back to the SNES with ActRaiser. Holy shit!
Wow. I've heard of
Yeah,
that
you know about
for a
that, man.
long
That shit is
time.
wild. You literally play God who has fallen from heaven, and you're just like, all right, now I gotta go clear out the swamp level in a Mortal Kombat style 2D scroller, and then afterwards you like make a town in order to have worshippers come and like drive out the demons for you so they can worship you as God. And you move on to the next area and you're like, oh shit, I'm God, I'm back, it's Jesus power time. Oh my god, that game got so many death threats from Christians.
Yep, amazing.
ActRaiser's fucking classic. It's the
I haven't heard
pre-SimCity.
anybody talk about ActRaiser since
ActRaiser's like the first game I played for the Super Nintendo. It's so good.
What? I'm watching it right now. It's actually surprising.
Yeah, ActRaiser's
nice.
fucking incredible, man. It got buried by the Christian hate, but oh, sorry. In English, it's localized to being the master, not God. It actually is the Christian God in the Japanese version, though. They make no attempt to hide it. There's just like crosses floating around and shit.
Japan does that. The majority of RPGs, like there is a huge religious element to the enemies that are like in that game. Any of those RPG games. What was it? There was another retro game that's getting a new game.
Oh shit, you can get ActRaiser on the Wii Virtual Console? I want that shit to come out for Switch so bad right now, man.
Switch. Oh my
Fuck
god.
yeah, you don't even have to remaster that shit. Just give me the original.
Just port that shit.
Streets of Rage 4 just got announced.
Streets of Rage.
Yeah, they're doing a really awesome new one.
That's like calling for the new Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
It looks.
I'm watching it. Remember the little floating baby angel that's like, what's my name? Oh my god.
ActRaiser, so good. You got anything else going on, Spooty?
No, I'm gonna watch ActRaiser videos the rest of the night. So.
Great, excellent.
I'm watching one right now. It's actually pretty cool. Yeah.
Have you never played this game, Dave, or seen it?
No,
Well, it's
never.
probably a little before your time, I guess.
No, Dave's old enough that he would have seen it on the SNES.
I mean, the thing is, Australia was very like, like it was very hard to get anything interesting video game wise when I was growing up. I think the most unique thing I saw when I was growing up was a game called Bayou Billy. It's just like you look it up. It's dumb. It's real dumb. But,
All right, if I've done this correctly, I'll be pointing in the correct direction. Boom. All right, well, the angle's wrong. There we go. Over here, this guy. Let's do his intro.
Yep. So I've been building some couple of things in the garage, and almost got my Challenger 2 model done. Started painting my Sheridan, and then my airbrush is dying. And I'm like, fuck.
You're saying words. I don't understand them.
Model making stuff.
By Challenger 2, do you mean the Challenger 2 shuttlecraft that doesn't exist, or are we talking about
the British main battle tank?
There we go. Now I'm down with it, brother.
Yeah,
Main battle tank. I don't even know why they call it anymore. It's literally the only type of tank they make anymore.
Yeah. It's essentially a tank that can do everything instead of light, medium.
They
heavy,
literally,
low.
do you ever hear them say, like, I'm going to make a super heavy tank? No, they're just like, I'm going to make a main battle tank.
Yeah. I mean, there's still some light tanks out and about, but yeah, they're pretty much just MBTs.
Got anything else going on?
I've really been playing a little bit of Division 2, playing some Warcraft, and it's been about it. I mean, maybe getting another cat soon.
No, well, what?
Yeah.
You literally were just complaining that your cat was biting you on the balls before the stream
No, he
started.
jumps in my balls.
Okay.
He
all
jumps
right.
in my lap. He just weighs a
I
lot.
swear 100%, and I will ask the rest of the cast to back me up on this, that you said something like, he's biting me on my balls.
That's what it sounded like.
Yeah, that is what I recall.
He's never bit my
I
balls.
thought it was scratch.
All right, okay. Drumurboy's backing you up.
There was definitely damage to balls.
Yeah,
No,
there's
he
ball
jumped, 'cause
damage.
he weighs like 13 pounds, so he jumps in my lap
Okay.
and then hits me in the jewels. But that's about it. He's never bit me in the stuff. That's pretty much it.
All right, I got plenty of shit for y'all to ruin your night with.
Oh,
First
boy,
off,
here we go.
you know what? Dave got like 20 minutes to talk about stuff. Just give me a little bit of time here, brother. Just give me a little bit of time. I was driving my mom to the airport today because I always drive her to go on her vacations. We got in the middle of a discussion talking about local Delaware politics, and I just drove like I automatically would to the airport. And I dropped her off. And when I got home an hour later, she said, "You left me at arrivals, not departures." That's it. My mom is super pissed at me, but fortunately, she's on an airplane flight to Madrid right now, so there's nothing she can do about it for 2 weeks. I'm sure I will feel her wrath when she returns.
How far apart is departures from arrivals?
A whole terminal in. She'll get where she's going. All right. She's like a 70-year-old old white woman. There will be people lining up to be like, "Can I help you, ma'am? Why don't you just come with me?" Okay.
She'll get to ride on one of those carts.
Yeah,
I was about to say the one of those
exactly.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, there's never going to be a problem with her in an American airport. She's fine.
Dude, I am so stoked when I have a terminal at the end of the airport. That way I get to walk on those like fast track things.
Yeah.
I love that feeling,
Yeah,
man.
I
Like
love that
I'm
shit.
walking normal speed, but I'm going 6 times the speed of everyone else. Yeah.
Nah, brother, you gotta get that behind the scenes airport thing going on. That's the real ride, man.
Behind
Look,
the
you know,
scenes.
look at an airport layout sometime. They intentionally make airports so that there are easy connections between everything that you can walk through. And they're made to like spread everything out, so if someone like takes over an airport, it is not easy to get from one location to another, right? It will take them time. Security will respond much faster. It also extends things out. Like if there's a plane that's on fire, you don't want people anywhere near it, but you want people to be able to arrive in order to fix the problem. So there's a lot of backdoor stuff in airports that moves very quickly.
I'm pretty
pretty cool.
sure I've seen some of the like the backways airport stuff in Toronto, but not here. Here is very small.
Yeah, I mean, of course, it's a bigger airport thing. LA.
Has everybody been through the Detroit airport before?
Yes, once.
You've got
Years ago.
that tunnel that goes underneath the runway. Did you go through when they have these giant like essentially from one side to the other? There's like just this massive like panel of LEDs that do this like almost like a kaleidoscope thing. It's kind of trippy when you're taking a red eye, but it's pretty cool. It goes just all the way under like 2 runways.
Yeah, man. Airports are really fucked up. That's what I'll say. Next up, I want to mention last week after the show, I was basically dying creatively. I was like, oh, I'm so fucking exhausted. I literally cannot keep prepping for shows. I have nothing left. I'm scooping out empty. And then all of my weekend plans got canceled. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, complete cancellation. I was like, I'm going to sleep forever. And I did. And I feel so much better this week.
Dude, having one day of 12 hours sleep is magic.
Just
like
agree.
The
100%.
whole world is brighter.
I was at a film festival all last weekend. That was fun.
Nice. Did you see anything cool?
I mean, yeah, I'm gonna ask what kind of films.
They were mostly centered on documentaries about rural towns in the South.
That does not sound like fun, man.
Or like
I live that life.
Yeah, or like made by filmmakers from
Rural.
southern areas. Yeah, that was kind of the theme.
There could be some cool.
There was some other stuff.
At least you're not watching any German avant-garde art student shit.
No, and I mean there was, and a lot of them were like shorts, so they were like 5 to 10 minutes long. So if there was something really bad, like it was over.
Ooh, yeah. Did you guys see that Fresh Prince of Bel-Air Netflix trailer remake adaptation thing?
Oh, like the modern day Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did see that shit. It was pretty good.
I wish that was real.
Yeah.
That looked real good.
I heard Idris Elba is replacing Will Smith, and I was like, man, they should replace Will Smith in everything with Idris Elba. Like, I'm like, reshoot Fresh Prince with Idris Elba, Aladdin, Idris Elba. Come on now, let's do it. New Men in Black with Idris Elba.
Here's the thing about Will Smith. If he went back right now and played the Fresh Prince, he would look the same. He would sound the same. Like,
what? No, he's like 30 years older. He's got kids that
looks exactly the same.
He does not.
Like,
no, he's not an ageless immortal. I'm sorry, Dave.
He is.
Just wait until Idris Elba does his summer rap album in the 90s.
It's all rhyming with no bad words in it. That's how you know it's Idris Elba.
Yeah, man, he's got his friend Jazzy Jeff. Yeah.
Do you think Men in Black would? Do you think Men in Black would be interesting if Idris Elba replaced Will Smith in it?
Look, let me tell you something. Imagine Men in Black with Idris Elba, but it's actually Heimdall from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, low-key pretending to be a human and like occasionally bringing out the sword and slicing aliens down, and then he's just like, "What? That's how we do it where I come from." I'm down with it. I'm down with Idris Elba being Heimdall in every movie he's ever in from now on, just pretending to be a human. Today, we're canceling the apocalypse. Definitely Heimdall. 100%. He's just protecting the realm.
Pacific Rim.
Yeah.
He just gets out of his mech and goes after the thing with a sword.
Exactly. All right. Look, I have bad news. We are in a dark place right now. We are in a void between lights. And that dark place is the 13th week of every anime season where nothing happens. It's real rough. It's real rough.
Like the first week.
That's why there's only 12 episodes of anime, man.
Yeah.
Come on now.
In a season. Yeah. That's why we have the 13th week where nothing happens. So that they have time in order to start the next season. It's rough. It's rough. Also, I finally beat Fate Extella after too long.
Oh,
and I started Fate Extella Link. And it picked... Look, you guys don't care. I get it. But I started Fate Extella Link, and it picks up immediately where the last game left off. And I was like, oh, yes. Now I have my daughter, and she's really cool. And in, like, the first 5 seconds of the game, your daughter's like, okay, I'm going to go run off and hang out with the bad guy now. And I'm like, okay, I want to go after her. And the main character's just like, all right, have fun. Try not to get kidnapped. And I'm like, what the fuck? You are not a good parent. How? No. How? Fate Extella Link is infuriating.
That kind of sounds like 24, right?
You mean the TV show 24?
The TV show, yeah.
But
right?
how is that anything like 24?
He saves his daughter from whatever reason, terrorists, and then they go home and they have a nice cooked dinner, and then his daughter gets taken again.
Doesn't
in
that
24?
Yeah, that's not 24. That's actually taken.
No, I'm pretty sure his daughter.
Look, his daughter gets kidnapped in like 3 different seasons, including the one where she works for the same company as he does.
But isn't 24 like supposed to take place over 24 hours each season?
Yes.
Isn't that the whole gist of that?
Yep.
So theoretically speaking, she gets kidnapped.
She does get kidnapped multiple times in like the first season. But it's like her kidnappers get kidnapped from or some bullshit like that. Look, man,
that's like a Russian,
24 is wild. You don't even know?
Oh.
Because occasionally when I come up with bad guy names for my shows, for villains, I just use names from 24 and literally no one ever recognizes it.
Yeah. I mean, 24 was real hard to watch. Like when it was on TV, it was real hard to
No, it was
watch.
amazing. I love 24. Man,
was the best
24
part because it
built
was, like, in
Fox.
real time.
24 and The Simpsons were what made Fox
Yeah.
legitimate as an entertainment company.
Yep. That show, when it first came out, it blew everyone's fucking minds.
All right, so the guys that made Scary Movie, right? They need to make a movie about kidnapping someone, and then the guys that kidnapped her get kidnapped by another bunch of people while they're still the kidnappees of another person, and those people need to be kidnapped again by another group. So eventually,
Isn't that the plot of
everyone gets
Sicario?
Stockholm syndrome. Is it?
I don't know. I've never seen it.
We'll call it the Matryoshka Syndicate.
Oh my god.
And then Ninja Shovel will show up and cut your daughter in half.
It's like a season of Dexter, but they're kidnappers who only kidnap people who kidnap people.
And then the kidnappers, the original ones, are getting Stockholm syndrome with the people that kidnap them, and then those people are getting Stockholm
This is
syndrome. with the
way
people
too
that kidnap
tiered,
them.
Dave. It's way too complicated.
And then in the final episode, you're in a hospital room, and it's just on a TV screen of some hacker that has uploaded his brain to the cloud computing.
Yeah.
He's dreaming.
Oh yeah, shit. It could just literally be a Black Mirror episode. Yeah, that's fine. We'll go with that.
Holy shit, am I high right now? Are you guys still talking?
Oh my god. Wow, fuck this motherfucker. All right. We'll get started because this guy,
Because we're an hour in, yeah.
we're 41 minutes in. We're not even at Okeanos length. Okay, look, let me tell you something, buddy. We're getting started, but not because you demanded that we do. All right, that's all I have to say. And I don't even want to hear it from you, motherfucker. Especially you, Atomikspoon. You sent me a message last week, and you're like, "I would love to explore this elder thing some more. Let's do some more of my backstory." And I'm like, "You must go, new clan elder, and seek out the treasures of your clan hold." And you're like, "Nope, fuck it, I'm out, bitch. Later, peace out." I'm like, okay, well, it's a good thing I have some notes about things you can do in the Empire for like 10 minutes before the end of the show, because now next week I have to create the entire Empire.
The beginning of this episode,
right.
you know what? We should go back.
You know what? You do whatever you want. I'm ready for both directions. Maybe you'll die and go back to the listen, let me tell you something. There's so many YouTube comments and Discord messages where people are like, why do they keep doing the same stuff? Why don't they go back to the beginning and do X and Y? Why don't they keep the guys dying at Gleemo's place? I'm like, I don't know why they don't keep the guys from dying at Gleemo's place. They could literally show up and be like, Gleemo, your shit's gonna be attacked. The goblins are coming.
Oh yeah.
You could do, you guys could do so much stuff, and you guys are just like, we'll just let it at the save point. It's fine. All those dead people, we told them that Freehold was going to be attacked by the by whatever, and we told Warwick where to go. That's fine.
Yeah, I mean, there's some stuff that I would like to do, but at the same time, it's kind of hard to, like, as a player. There's some sort of progression, right? Like, especially with like this dwarf, the halfling stuff, where we kept butting our heads against that fucking wall. And we're just like, we want to do this. We want.
I understand.
We want to.
Just know that the audience is like, they really want to see Gleemo alive. That's all I'm saying. They really just want to see Gleemo not.
Everyone wants to see Gleemo.
It's not that he's not alive. They want to see Gleemo not in severe legal jeopardy.
I mean, I don't. Spoiler: I don't care for Gleemo.
That's no spoiler. You've made it very obvious that you don't give a shit.
I mean, it's pretty clear what happens to him. He gets a TV show on
PBS.
WZRD, the local wizarding channel.
with like a weird industrial metal band soundtrack and Gleemo Mind Freak, you know.
Gleemo's Mind Freak? That's more like Aardvark. Aardvark shows up. Now let's begin the Mind Freak. And like,
I thought Aardvark was David Blaine.
I don't know who he is anymore.
He's like, oh, I'm floating, and then you lift up his robe, and he's just like standing on one foot. You're like, good try.
No, you know that guy that used to do the televised "I Can Speak to the Dead."
Oh, crossing
yeah,
over with John
yeah,
Williams. John Edwards. John Edwards.
John Edwards, yeah.
I'm going to say John Williams, and that should have a sweet soundtrack.
So that's Aardvark. He's John Edwards. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Just with more drugs.
Well,
That's
speaking
how John
of,
Williams does all this shit. He just like steals it from old composers by like injecting his consciousness into time.
Mozart, give me your brilliance. You've had 300 years to think about this.
Dude, John Williams totally lifts like entire sections from different things. He's just like a master at incorporating shit.
All right. Speaking of segues, let's cut to the four of you and your. I believe you're down to just one cart and two horses.
Yes.
Are floating on a river raft down the Sunpath, the river that cuts through the Sunpath Empire. Your guide Exus has been talking to you constantly, explaining to you all of the wonderful things about the Empire. As the sun is beginning to set in the distance, he says, it's going to be at least 2 more days until we reach the palace of Lord Tong Sang Wei. We can stop anywhere that you want, but allow me to ask. I like you guys. In the morning, you can choose any ferryman that you want, but I think that we should stick together. You should choose me to be your exclusive guide while you are here in the Empire. I'm trying to sell you on this. You are all very stone-faced with me. You look like the dwarf.
I mean, that doesn't sound bad to me.
I mean, we just got here.
Do we know anyone else?
Do you know anyone else?
Hell no, we don't know anybody
can
else.
we get like, competitive bits going on to be our guide?
He says, any ferryman will carry you wherever you want to go. You are honored visitors. I'm just saying, if you like me, we can stick together. I think we can do good things.
What was this guy's name?
His name is Exas, E-X-A-S.
Can we do, is there like some sort of insight check we can make on this guy to see whether or not he's trying to sell us up the river?
Okay, yeah. I mean, make an insight check. You want to know whether he's going to betray you?
Well, I mean, not so much betray, but like you know how you go to a new place sometimes and taxi drivers are just like, yeah, it's like 5 times the fee or whatever, right?
Yeah. Well, I remind you, you don't have to pay anything here. This place is super communist.
I know, but like, he meant the first thing he mentioned when we got on his barge was, yo, you want to go to the black market?
Yeah, exactly.
Right, like it was like some shit that he.
So you're using your experience over the day with him to like detect his bullshit-o-meter, whether he's trying
to.
Okay, go ahead.
So this is just straight insight, or
yeah, straight insight.
Is that a skill?
It is a skill.
It is, yes.
It's a wisdom-based skill.
Insight. All right.
As a cleric, you should theoretically be moderately good at this.
Yeah.
Okay, I mean,
I'd say that was moderately good.
You don't detect any deception from him. He's not trying to like murder you in the middle of the night. He's not been like, oh, I got the cousin who has things that fell off the back of the truck. When he mentioned the black market, it was entirely in reaction to you guys talking about it. You don't get any feeling from him that he's like some sort of thieving pirate raider. This guy just wants to stick with you because he thinks you're interesting.
All right. Well, I don't vocalize any of my internal machinations about this man.
Machinations. Do they lay undetected?
Wow.
All right, Lysander up. So he pulls the raft over on the north side of the riverbank, and he says, wait, we will go to the south side in just a few minutes, but there is a sight here that we can only see from this point of the river. Just stick with me until the sunset begins.
Oh, okay. Sure,
I guess.
There is an inn nearby called the Topaz Cask. Many avoid it in the local area. Some consider it to be unruly, but I think that your dwarven friend would like it. It is one of the few exclusive suppliers of dwarven ale. It is considered by many in the local area to be too strong and harsh. But I think that perhaps all of you like it in here, yes?
I mean, I'm willing to take the risk.
That's Exus laughing. He's just like, ha ha ha.
Agram's just having a flashback to the last time we messed around with all that. Where, what was it? Daka was asleep on the bar and Finley was passed out on the floor.
that's fine. I mean, we can.
Daka doesn't remember
2 days on a barge, right?
Daka doesn't remember a lot about the night, but a lot about the hangover. No?
So as the sun is setting, he says, look over there. And he points to a point on the northern bank. As the sun sets, you get that heat wave effect as it's coming over the sands, and you see this weird golden flash, and you see there's a huge cornfield being blocked by the sunset, and he says, there it is. On the southern bank we raise rice, and on the northern bank we raise corn. It's beautiful, yes? This is why the empire is so healthy. Our crops, they are sexier than that of your western countries. They grow twice in 1 year. Much food, yes?
So you guys make whiskey from that corn, or?
I mean, I was gonna say that the corn was very attractive looking.
He says, yes, very attractive. Corn is great. Very good for you.
So do you like live with corn, or how does that work?
There is corn all along the northern desert. Rice all along the southern bank.
Which do you prefer, the rice or the corn?
I prefer both. They are very good when fried, yes? Huh?
Yeah, that's true.
Is the corn as sacred as the rice is?
The corn is less sacred than the rice. The corn was not given to us by God.
Who was it given to you by then?
We made the corn.
Like,
What color is the corn, Arthur? Is it purple or orange?
It's yellow.
Okay.
I
The
don't get
rice is
reference.
white, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Okay.
So as the sun sets in the background, he pulls you guys over to the topaz cask and says, with your armbands, everything that you want tonight will be covered. Food, drink, place to stay. The rooms will probably be meager by your Western standards, but they will be private and comfortable and warm against the desert's cold.
Well, considering our luck with inns in the past, I'm sure it'll be just fine.
You have bad experience. Do not worry. Everywhere in the Empire is safe. Very safe.
Finley says, so it's all free? It's all taken care of?
It is taken care of for you, yes.
Finley walks in the door of the bar and says, 8 beers, please.
You walk in. It is not crowded in here. There's like 3 dwarves who have massive forearms. We're talking these guys they look like they're some sort of West Coast indie band. All of their sleeves seem to have been ripped off. These guys are just fucking huge forearms, veins running all through that shit.
Would you describe these dwarves as absolute units?
Yeah, they're fucking absolute units, man. They're the pure essence of dwarven absolute unit. The dwarven innkeeper turns toward you and says, visitor from afar, eh? Okay, 8 beers. Is that going to be in shot glasses?
No, the regular pints, please.
You sure? Half pint?
Totally sure. And I kind of turn around and lean on the bar and I look at the other doors and I'm like, nice forearms.
So you've seen different colored armbands on people as you've been traveling throughout the day. For instance, Exus has a yellow one. These guys have black with a gold lining on it. And they all like turn and nod and the innkeeper goes, they're smiths. It's an honored profession around here, visitor. They don't talk much though. So he starts setting beers in front of you until there's 8 beers. Each mug is like as big as your face.
Mm-hmm. I start to drink down one of them while staring at him to assert my dominance.
Okay, make an intimidation check.
Okay.
You're gonna assert your dominance. Holy shit.
I'm gonna follow him into the bar.
All right, you come into the bar and you see
16.
Finley
Or is that 15?
staring at a dwarven innkeeper as he drinks it down. He slams the cup down and the innkeeper goes, all right then, I'll keep them coming for you as long as you keep drinking.
That's my plan. I ordered 8 beers.
I mean, he just keeps sliding an 8th beer onto the end every time you drink one.
That's right.
He's drafting you a fresh mug.
Yeah. I like my orders being taken solely at the letter of the law. Always 8 years in front of me.
So when you come in, the innkeeper finally pays attention to you, Agrim, and says, "Ah, welcome, another visitor. Sit, traveler."
I think we would have came in with Agrim at this point.
All right,
I think.
all three of you
It's
come
not
in
like
as well.
we're waiting outside to make a.
Okay, you next. We do have the armbands. It's basically Disneyland. We get everything for free.
Yeah, well, that's not how Disneyland works, but okay.
Well, those
Man, I should go to
super
Disneyland.
rich like black diamond. all
That's,
access
I mean,
pass
yeah,
stuff.
that's true. If you do get that level, as you come in, the innkeeper says, "The name's Ogon. Aye. You're in luck tonight. We've got roasted wyvern, baked wyvern, or scalloped. What would you like? Fresh seafood.
I will try all of your delicacies.
All of the delicacies. Very well.
Yeah.
Shall I
if
prepare
you-
a sampler plate for the three of you?
I'm drinking more.
Actually,
Is that wyvern with a Y or with an I?
That's wyvern with a W. Oh, yes, a Y.
Okay.
I heard you had some fine dwarven ale. I would love to partake.
So he says, "Aye, we've got some dwarven ale here, but perhaps you'd like brandy, gin, or whiskey."
We'll start off light and we'll see how the night goes.
You
All right.
know, I turned to my companions and I was like, we haven't actually really had a good opportunity to sit down and just marry with each other. Yeah. We've always been on the road. We've always been, working with each other, but we've never actually sat down and just enjoyed each other's company. So
I kind of squint at Kelly and say, are you hitting on me right now?
you wouldn't be able to take it if I was.
Hmm.
But that's besides the point. I suggest that, especially since the custom here is to treat us well, I'm going to take out some gold, Arthur.
Yeah?
I'm going to put it on the table. And I was like, I know that, you don't have to pay for anything here, but I feel awkward taking without giving back. Is this acceptable, or do you not take gold here?
So when you say that, the innkeeper looks over at Exus, who walks in, and Exus begins speaking to him in Eastall. They have a quick conversation, and the innkeeper sweeps up the coin and says, "It's fine. It's fine. It will work." He puts down community plate of different wyvern parts, wyvern hearts, wyvern liver, wyvern thighs. Some of it's been baked, some of it's been roasted, and some of it has been fried. And some scallops that have been braised. And then he puts down...
love scallop.
Yeah, I bet you do. Then he puts down, "For you, Finley, these things are fucking enormous. They're 2-pint-sized beer steins
Nice.
filled with dwarven ale." And then he puts 3 shot glasses of whiskey in the center of the table as well. And
Perfect.
he's like, "Gentlemen, enjoy your evening on the house."
I'm glad Finley doesn't weigh
On the
anything, so we'll have to
Empire.
carry his ass up the stairs later.
When he says "on the Empire," all 3 of the dwarves knock their beer steins together and then drop them on the floor after they finish drinking them. They shatter immediately.
Another.
Opa!
Well,
I'm gonna give you some.
So- I'm not holding back tonight, Arthur. I don't think.
Okay.
I think the intent here is to relax as much as possible, and not have my guard up at all. I think be intentional here.
I'm down to chill.
I'm surprised they dropped those.
I mean,
beer
you
steins
know how
from
there's
farms.
always there's always
It was intentional, but okay.
They must not have very good forearms.
you know how there's always that slight edge that D&D adventurers need to have, where they're always paranoid.
I mean, every D&D adventure that's ever been made is always Strider from the first part of Lord of the Rings. They're all 4 of them are pulled with their hoods down in the corner of the room, smoking pipes in the darkness.
No, this is like the imagine if they had karaoke in this universe.
Oh
right?
my god.
It's that sort of drunk karaoke.
It's fucking
Right,
nightmare.
It's nightmare karaoke, yeah. But the idea being that this is probably the first time in a long time maybe outside of when Kelly was with his actual war band, that he has not had any sort of paranoia to his surroundings, I guess, right? I'm not sure why that is. Maybe he's fully accepted the lifestyle of, repeated deaths and all that sort of stuff at this point. But, he's not going to be worried about any words or misgivings or anything like that. And at least for this trip while they're here in this Sunpath Empire, it seems he's fully adopted being this is a friendly place.
Oh, that reminds me, by the way. So I've been meaning to mention this. Both of my ongoing D&D campaigns have the same pantheon of gods, even though they take place on different worlds. The other campaign just got to their empire, which is the Fade and Guzian Empire, which is run by Guzenkas directly. She's the prophet god of the empire, and they're like, man, everybody here is a huge dick. So funny.
Which area is that in this world?
It's not. They're on completely. So it's the same material plane, but they're on different planets. So they just are all same pantheon, same gods, different interpretations.
Is any one of them like a follower of Guzengas?
No, none of them are clerics.
Interesting.
I don't think they even have a divine caster in their group, right? They're bard, fighter, monk, rogue. Yeah, they don't even have a divine caster. They get all of their healing from the bard, which is nothing. Wow. They get no healing ever. They've literally never healed once. They just get murdered a lot. So,
hey guys, you want to hear my new riff? Oh, you're dead. Okay.
Look, the bard isn't even like spoken word poetry. He writes stuff down and then recites it.
Oh, I see.
So the only experience I have with a bard is gags.
Oh God, really? Wow.
He was a horrible bard.
I know he was. I know. So in the back of my mind, whenever people play bard, right, I just think of Gags. I was like, man, Gags was fucking useless.
Oh yeah. I'm like that with every character I play, though. I'm always I shouldn't even pick a class because I never do the fuck that class.
You're the villager, right? When you get to level 10, you can have some interesting things, but up until that point, like.
Look, some of my artists are in chat, and I'm not insulting you guys. I insult all of my casts equally. I just like the other cast better than this one.
Just dip one level into cleric, and then all of a sudden the world is friendly. That's all you need to do. That's it.
As you all party the night away, it sounds like you might be holding back a little bit. Daka, is that true? Are you not going? You're not going to get full blasted?
Not full blasted. I'm looser than normal, but like not. Daka doesn't really ever let his full guard down.
Agram, what about you?
I'm all in. Let's throw down.
All in. All right. You guys are like, by the time you're done, you have eaten most of an actual wyvern in wyvern meat.
Nice.
As the night goes on, the innkeeper speaks with his dwarven brothers a bit, and you briefly overhear in the Western language. You guys call it Common, they call it Westal in the Empire. That a group of adventurers has been seen in a place called the Warrens of Tenebra's Doom, which is as edgelordy as it sounds. That the Lizard King Belial has hired these adventurers to help raid the village.
Okay.
Lizard King Belial?
Yeah, Lizard King Belial.
Did we ever get the name of that lizard or like the dragonling that we...
You mean the the green dragon mercenary? No, you didn't get his name. He's not a lizard folk. He's a half dragon.
So this is like they're clearly talking about a different thing.
Yes. Also, he's on the other side of a mountain.
We didn't mess with him in this timeline, so
that's I mean, did he salute you? No, that was the other timeline. No, you never even met him in this timeline.
No.
Yeah. Exodus spends the night. He doesn't eat any meat. It seems like maybe he's vegetarian, and he only drinks 1/2 pint of like weak beer.
I don't trust him.
Do you say something to him about it?
No, but I make a mental drunken note that I'll most likely forget in the morning.
Fuck that guy.
Drunken note. I like his face.
And I was like, fuck that guy with an arrow pointing. But like, you know, when I wake up in the morning, the book has changed position. So it's like, it's pointing at Agrim or something. And I'm like, why fuck Agrim? What did he do?
Anything else you guys want to do while you're hanging out at this bar? Any quick confessions you want to give to each other? God, I like killing so badly. I just love killing people.
I'll ask Exodus more information about the area. Like, we're visitors here. Like, Daka's never heard of this place.
That's true. Daka has never heard of this place. So Exodus is just like, what would you like to know? The Sunpath Empire extends very far.
When was this place established? You're gonna think this is crazy, but I am very old.
I do not think it is that crazy, my friend. So the thing you need to know about the Sunpath Empire is that it is always growing. Always growing. It was not always here. How to say this? You are from the west, yes? From the Magnarchy or whatever they are calling it now.
Thereabouts.
Okay. Then the thing you need to know is that they are the other side of us. When the elves were defeated by the humans at Fort Kuso, some of us took refuge with the dwarves and came to the far side of the mountain. They settled here, on this side. And after some time in the harsh deserts, where forebearers grew strong and powerful, vying with the other tribes, eventually 6 tribes came together and formed a coalition and began clearing the Sunpath. And then became known as the Sunpath Coalition, which grew into the Empire. Using the very fertile soil of the Sunpath, food was no longer an obstacle. Fresh water was secured for all time. People could come and go as they please. Wealth flowed at great speed and with much depth. Some say with the depth of the Sunpath itself. And thus, quickly, an empire rose out of the sands. Now, it is one city, 100 miles or more long. I have been from one end to another many times. It is always growing and always extending towards the sea. Even some of the sea we control. We are allied with the lizard folk of Silisisk. Tal Wave has joined us and brought with us bog iron, because the dwarves will not give us anything of value. The Empire is good. But to answer your question directly, it is less than 500 years old.
Oh. What? Is there a god you serve around here? Is there like a popular...
An excellent question, my friend. You should know that in the Sunpath Empire, all gods, even the Taker, are worshipped equally. But one is slightly above the others. In many of the other nations, the trickster god Jitao is looked down upon. They do not like him, especially in the Magnarchy. They do not like the trickster at all. They try to eliminate Jitao. Here, we recognize Jitao as one who travels freely up and down the river. And so we revere him just a little bit more than others. When we put 1 gold coin in every vase, we put another copper in his. You understand?
Would you say it's relatively evenly distributed how people serve
All
the gods
faiths
here?
and cultures that are underneath the Empire's banner are welcome.
Very interesting.
There are over 40 cultures represented. Many faiths, many spiritualities. The monks bring with them their own understanding of the way things work. I have seen men with their fists able to summon fire and water, call up the earth simply through concentration of force in their body. It's incredible what you can do without arcane magic. Not? The Empire is a great place. You agree?
Yeah, it seems nice.
Seems pretty sweet.
So he leans in towards you and says, let us speak privately for a moment, while the innkeeper and the rest are not listening. If you are looking for magical goods, or perhaps arcane services, something of that nature from the black market, I can take you to these places.
Is there a lamp or a flame nearby?
Yes.
I'll make it grow. I'll make it grow and then make it shrink really fast.
He's like, yes. Your arcane magic. Do not use it around others. The Sunpath Empire, even for visitors, it is looked down upon.
Sometimes it just kind of happens, but I'll keep that in mind.
I don't know if you've ever met other wizards like yourself, but they are huge dicks.
Oh, I know a few.
They are always bound by rules, always talking about how great they are. The Empire, people who place themselves above others are not well thought of.
They sound like humans to me.
They are the most human. I am human, though, so don't insult humans too badly, huh?
No, you're okay, though.
I'm one of the good humans, huh? I've heard that one before.
The dog will actually laugh out loud at that. Maybe the first time the party's heard him actually belly laugh for a second.
So he leans back. He's done talking conspiratorially and says, if you want to know more about that, ask me later, huh? Anytime we're on the water.
This is one more quick question.
Yes.
Is there any tell here of the Gloomstalkers or the...
Gloomstalkers? You were speaking of Dwarven Rangers, yes?
Yeah.
I've heard some tales of them from time to time. I might have traveled one on my float before.
How was that recently?
Oh, maybe 2 cycles ago. 800 days.
I'll eye aggro him if he's paying attention.
Oh, I'm listening.
It is rare to see them above the ground, you know.
Oh, yeah, super rare.
They're private people. I assume some have said that their armor is not black, but indeed the deep purple of drow blood stained over it. You know, stories like that, tall tales, the things that they say in the night.
Right.
But I have seen things. I've seen Gloomstalker's armor. Things that make me question how true that tale might actually be. They are cold and silent people. Of course, he might just not speak.
Do you know where... Well, you ferried him around a little bit. Do you know where he headed?
I'm sorry, I cannot share that information. If someone asks me where I take you, I don't tell them anything.
Fair enough. It's, I get it.
It is your privacy that I am securing. I have taken an oath as a ferryman.
Well, maybe we'll have to go by this specialty shop later.
Yes, the specialty shop. Yes. I'm sorry, friends. I see that you will be drinking all night long, but I do not deeply partake. I will be heading to my room. Please, enjoy yourselves. Have a good night. Stay well while in the Empire. And he collects his things and nods to the innkeeper, says something briefly in Eastall, and then heads to a room that's much smaller than your guys' rooms. It's basically, when you see him open the door, it's like a cot and a wash basin, and that's it.
I'll turn to the party and well, Agrim, seems like one of your folk is around, and there's some items that we might be interested in.
Yeah, I'll have to see what we can do about maybe tracking him down, though. He's, gonna be awfully hard to find unless he wants to be found.
Yeah, but we're gonna need help if we're gonna clear out that place,
As you're talking, the innkeeper comes over with 4... you can tell that they're chilled because you can see the ice on the outside of them. It looks like rice pudding. He sets down 4 cups of it and says, chilled rice pudding, using dwarven alchemy techniques to keep it cold. This is the good stuff. Oh, sorry, I'm still in Exodus accent. Chilled rice pudding. Nope, I'm still there. I'm not going to be able to get out of it.
Is there a phrase that you use to get into character?
No, I don't know how to become dwarf again. Haggis, I'm sorry, friends, I'm back now. Here is chilled rice pudding made with the finest dwarven alchemies. My grandfather taught it to me. You've never had a dish of its like. Very smooth, very creamy, very sugary.
I don't know if Doc even knows what rice is, really.
I mean, he's about to.
I'm sure we've eaten rice on this path, right? Or maybe not. I don't know.
I don't know if we have.
No, you've eaten entirely monarchy food, which is like wheat and cow meat and root vegetables.
The root vegetables Daka is very familiar with. And mushrooms, that kind of like thing. Things that grow in caves.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is an entirely new gastronomical experience for you. Eating braised wyvern and ears of corn and now rice pudding.
It's going to be a weird night for
Daka getting the meat sweats.
the meat sweats. The itis.
You see like beads of sweat just like ringing around his tiefling horns.
Gotta get that condensation right there. Yep. Anything else you guys want to do tonight? I'm not trying to chase you off to bed. If you guys have important business to discuss, go ahead.
No, getting cockeyed, I think, is the way to go.
I mentioned to Kelly, like, you seemed sentimental earlier. Is there something you'd like to discuss?
Oh, I mean, well, I feel like this is going to be the beginning of a lifetime endeavor with everyone here. So, I've come to terms with the fact that this is going to be our fate for a very long time, and potentially at the end of this, it might be the actual end of us. So, as far as I'm concerned, everyone here is now my war party.
I've given some thought to the end of this journey as well.
Well, I look at it this way. Knowing what I know now, if this bullshit hadn't happened, I'd be dead. So I guess dying every now and again ain't too bad. At least I can come back from it for now.
Yes, well, I feel that previously I had an urge to meet the end of this, or to deliver myself from this curse, but I feel like that is potentially the wrong way of looking at things. My recent stay over in Fort Kuso has given me some insight to potentially what Kuzengoth actually has planned for me, and, well, perhaps being cursed with this and is not actually a curse, but more of a way to help this world in some way or shape or whatever. But the fact that I have companions with me, and the fact that all of this is not going to be changed, is giving me some thought. I'm definitely going to be a little less eager to meet the end. But
I have a feeling that's a fair way away right now, but
exactly. So
where I come from, we were
less about the ending and more about the journey, if you know what I mean.
Well, where I come from, if it's any consolation, we were a very tight-knit group. I feel the same about this group. I've never seen a war.
Perhaps
I'll be your war band if you'd like.
Well, perhaps we should become actual blood brothers. All of us, right now.
3, 2, 1, blood brothers!
This is the scene from Starship Troopers where they all go get tattoos together.
Yeah.
What does mine say?
Let's all get cut together.
Agram would just,
Death from above.
Finish off his drink, slam a mug on the table, pull out a knife, slam it down. Fuck yeah, let's do it.
Yep. No need to worry about tetanus.
Daka will reach into his.
Look, lockjaw is something that everybody needs to experience once in life. That's the dwarven way. Every dwarf has had lockjaw by the time they're like 3. Okay.
Lockjaw for dwarves is like chicken pox.
Yeah, exactly. When you live underground,
You have to get inoculated against it.
Everybody does, mining and everything else, blacksmithing. It's like, yeah,
You get locked on as an adult, you're real fucked.
tetanus.
Nah, when one kid gets lockjaw, all the kids go play with the kid with lockjaw
Just
until
so
they
they
get
get it over with.
Yeah, but Doggo will like reach into his cloak and pull out his dagger and just like give his hand a quick flick.
Finley, I mean, you're awfully quiet over there, 19 beers deep.
I'm fine, okay, guys.
Is Finley just hidden behind a wall of empty beer mugs?
It's 8. It's 8. There's only 8.
When you say that, there's always 8 beers there. The innkeeper keeps taking the empty ones away and putting a fresh one there.
No, I mean, honestly, I think Finley is about to just pass out on the fucking table. I don't know if he's going to make it to his room.
Finley drank himself under the table.
Right.
And it's
That's
a
how
short
I do
drink, too.
It's only under the table because he fell out of his chair and rolled under there.
That's how I do it. Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
standing.
Not for
Help!
long.
From under the table, you just hear Finley, help! We died. We're under the mountain again.
They built the ceilings really low in here.
Trying to like
Even for
crawl.
me.
Oh God.
You want to get
Well,
cut?
how do you feel?
Become a blood brother, Finley?
Yeah, sure. I kind of like stick my hand up around the top of the table.
Like a cat paw, just to,
Yeah.
I'll like nick it with my knife and then just like
I disinfect it with beer.
That's not how that works.
You need at least whiskey for that, or something 45% or higher.
Oh my god.
Start
Do I
making
make a-
sense.
do I can make a con check here, or is his blood alcohol level not that high yet?
You'll make a con check in the morning. Don't worry about it. I just
Yeah.
love the idea of
So-
someone going off disinfected with beer. Oh my god.
So by Orcish warband standards, being blood brothers means that we're eternally indebted to our other siblings in the pact. Generally speaking, we all look out for each other right now, but this means that we put each other before anything else. And I mean anything. So to me, a blood pact is incredibly important to uphold. And I hope that all of you will treat it with the same majesty as what I do. Not majesty. What's the reverence? Reverence.
Doggo
I'm
doesn't
drunk,
say this
I'm
out loud. Doggo doesn't say this out loud, but he's like, I'm just drunk enough to agree.
So I'll cut my hand as well. And I don't know how you do a 4-way blood pact, but
Well, we probably just have to like do multiple whatever, because I would like to imagine Agrim and Kelly do the predator,
It's combinatorical, right? You each have to make a blood pact with each other person.
This is very much like the that 70s show
Blood pact daisy chain.
round thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is so that 70s show with that scene. Yeah.
In the morning, I need all of you to make Constitution saving throws.
I'm fucking done.
Why?
Can I have advantage because I'm resistant to poison?
Yes.
15.
Wow. Finley's just like,
No, 12, sorry. I rolled a
chippity
27.
chip, oh.
Daka, I mean, you
Hey,
wake up,
guys.
you're still a little sluggish.
How you feeling?
Finley is
Daka.
somehow like the best out of the whole party.
That's right.
Doggo
wasn't-
tried-
Here's the
Finley, you
thing.
basically
It was-
urinated your weight out of your body.
I also like the idea that he was like he was tricking everyone and not drinking as much as he intended. He made out to
Oh,
be.
that was very
normal
real.
The whole time. April
Just-
Fools.
The bartender was trying not to kill him, so it's watering down his drinks like as the night progressed. He just didn't notice.
So breakfast looks like it's pretty light around here. It's just like a scramble of some egg, probably not chicken, and corn. Exus is already outside. He's like checking on your wagon and the horses, and then like praying over the water as people are coming out and beginning to tend to the rice.
Are those dwarves about, or did they leave?
So if you ask about them, the innkeeper goes, "They've already left for the morning. The dwarven forges start early around here before the summer heat kicks in."
Right. Where along the road are the dwarven forges located?
Ah, you wish to visit one?
Of course, I am proficient in the dwarven smithing ways myself, and we might be looking for some new equipment, and never hurts to be
I
loyal
don't
to
know
the
if you'll
kid.
be able to find equipment, but you can certainly observe their processes. If you walk perhaps 5 minutes to the east, you will find the forge.
All right, appreciate it.
So you want to go take a morning stroll down to Forge Land?
Oh, I just want to know where they were located.
Okay.
I mean, we can go wherever we're going.
Well, yeah, your guys are heading east down the river, and they're just a short distance away.
Yeah, I'd like to stop and talk to them.
All
a
right,
little
yeah,
bit.
you take a morning stroll. It's pretty pleasant. The sun is rising, but it's not too bad. Not super hot, not super cold. People are coming out and trying to offer you stuff in the morning. They're like, no. This color is all wrong, what you are wearing. Oh, friend, come here. My wife has made things for you. White, light blue. They are better for you. You're too hot.
I'm just looking down. I'm wearing a leather and like maybe a little bit of mail. I'm like,
Too hot. Everything you are doing is wrong.
I mean, I'm okay for now. I'm going to visit my kinfolk down the ways. Appreciate it though.
Every person you pass by has something for you. They're like,
Yeah,
take this, remember me by it. Yes.
I can imagine the bazaar.
Wherever Daka goes, the volume gets considerably quieter.
Wherever you go, there are some. No one says anything to you directly, but there's a lot of accusing glances. You seem to be gathering negative public interest, based on your arcanisms. I assume you're thaumaturging all the sound down.
Yeah, I'm hungover as fuck.
I mean, as you're doing that, people are just like, he's an arcanist. They quickly switch to Eastall when it becomes clear that you don't speak it. Who's traveling to the forge? Is it everybody, or is it just Daka and...
I mentioned ask Kill if he wanted to go, since he's into the weaponry and the armor and such.
I'm literally carrying an armory on me.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying, of all of the group to have interest in going to see the dwarven smithy, I assume Kelly would be the one to go.
I also want to stop by the specialty shop.
You'll need access to do that if you would like.
Well,
I mean, I'm down for going there too. It's just the smithy was super close, so I'd just take a morning stroll up. Maybe people are finishing up breakfast or something.
This is the morning. We're not like
this is just him walking to a nearby forge.
Okay, I'm just following, but I am thaumaturging everything.
Okay.
A little bit dimmer and a lot quieter.
I love the idea that you go into a blacksmith and they're like banging away, and you're just like, and then they have to hit harder because they're not getting the right sound out of the metal.
It's just the dwarves hitting harder versus his thaumaturgy fighting a thing back and forth.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
As you enter the forge area, you can see it's like it's slightly, so the road runs along the river's edge at 12 feet away, so all the buildings are between the river and the road. And as you walk along it, the forge is on the other direction. It faces south out towards the open desert, and it is hot. It's hot enough around some of the forges. You can see the sand is turning to glass. Everything is open air here.
Whoa, really? That's hot as fuck.
Yeah, these forges are fucking dwarven alchemical forges. They are hot as fuck. You could see that there's like poles and tents that they can put up to block the rain, but otherwise these guys are working out in the hot sun openly. There are a number of young dwarven men and women whose only jobs appear to be like throw water on these guys constantly to keep them cooled down, and then like wipe them off and then throw more water on them. That's their whole job, is to just observe and do that. The smiths recognize you when you approach.
I want that job.
There are a number of weapons that are on a rack nearby, just being openly displayed, including a sword that has the holy symbol of Guzan Guz carved into the scabbard. And one of the dwarves is just like, "Hoy, I'll be with you in a minute. You have come to observe us then, brother?"
Oh yeah, just to appreciate the fine craft you got going on here, and maybe browse some wares if you have any available.
He says, Everything I make for the Empire. There is nothing I can sell you, unfortunately.
Do you take commissions?
We do not do commissions. Everything I do for the Empire. And when he says that, like, several of the people nearby stop and salute, and they're like, for the Empire. Everything I do.
I would say I'm going to take a mental note. If we go talk to this count, whatever, maybe we work for him. Maybe we can work something out.
So these guys have a very different forging technique than what you're used to. It's not traditionally dwarven. They work in small units with lots of, they call them squires in dwarven. So it's like one master smith working on a piece, and then all of the others are doing like smoothing everything out, bringing the oil over. It's not like one guy working alone.
It's like it's almost like an assembly line, kind of,
but it's clear that the master smith is the one who is, you know, shaping everything, and the others are there observing the process and learning from him, absorbing his knowledge. It's not the traditional dwarven master and journeyman style apprenticeship.
Is there more than one?
Yeah, each of them has like 3 or 4 observers for every one of them.
Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of crowded, and there's a lot of shuffling around, and it's clear that there's like a hierarchy. The person who stands closest to him is the most important.
Okay, yeah.
So all 3 smiths are forging. One of them looks like he's finishing up a javelin that's like sparking with yellow electrical lines running down it, even though it's made entirely out of wood.
Are there any like runes etched into it or anything?
They're not, but he's like he's lacquering it with like some sort of alchemical potion, and then rolling it over and lacquering the other side over and over again.
Yeah, I'll just observe for a minute or two and stay. I mean, obviously not in the way, but you know, because like you said, it is different. It's new. It is interesting. It's something, you know. He's not a smith in the, you know, it's not a profession.
He's not a smith in the classical sense. He's a hobbyist, you know.
Well, it's just soldiers have a lot of downtime. And,
yeah, he puts together Warhammer 40k minis in his free time.
Yeah, exactly. But you know, so he might have picked up some lessons from the armor at the you know, the ranger stuff and everything. So you know, he's okay. He's passable, I guess. But yeah, nice.
Do you ask him about taking, you know, like some smithing tools?
I mean, I have smithing tools, but
okay. I mean, do you display them?
They're just attached to the side of my pack. They're not necessarily just like. I'm not like using them as a
paradise. One dwarf exposes his crafting tools to another.
Fucking yeah, that's the mating instead of like the big thing with the feathers, it's the smith hammer and the.
They start curtsying to one another and shit. It's great. It's really special.
No, see, the mating dance is your smithing form. It's you know, they observe and you know. That's how we choose.
There's lots of winking and smirking involved too.
There's lots of swearing involved.
As you mentioned Smithing Forge, it becomes interesting because all 3 of these guys have exactly the same form. There's no individuality between them. They all hammer and move in the exact same way. Even though their bodies might not be the same shape, it's all like slash, bam, 100%. Like they've all done
like
these
robots.
Yes, exact move over and over again, maybe for hundreds of years.
No. Kelly, is there anything you want to do while I'm
So the smith you've been talking to lifts the lacquered spear up and says, I will allow you to name it. It is a javelin of lightning.
Heart Piercer sounds like a pretty good name for a javelin.
So he begins inscribing it on the side, Heart Piercer. It is a good name. It will serve the Empire well. Bring peace to many.
It's a nice piece of work. I'm sure it will.
He flips it over and says, it will bring peace to at least one, at least.
Well, yeah, I'll just give him kind of a, like, yeah, you know, like, that it's like I've killed people. He might have probably killed something. It's like, yeah, okay, yeah. No. And I mean, after observing for a few minutes, unless Kelly wants to do something, I'm happy to return back and.
Okay, yeah. Axis has got the boat ready. Your horses are ready to go.
Ready to move on.
Unless there's anything you guys want to do over the 2-day period before you reach Tong Sang Wei.
I think. Doc wanted to
the black market,
the specialty store or whatever.
Black market. My goodness. Who knows what you could find at the black market?
Hopefully a ring of protection.
I'm looking at
Yeah,
black
definitely
market.
ring of protection.
Speaking of, for now anyway, I will take off my ring of protection and give it to Daka.
Interesting. So, as you begin traveling down the river, that night, Daka, you guys stop at another inn, you get drunk again. There's no wyvern here. Instead, it's
Daka gets very less drunk, like one drink, maybe.
You have a dream that you recall quite vividly, Daka. You wake up and you're on top of a sand dune, and next to you there's a stork that's just kind of like moving around, flapping its wings, occasionally stepping one of its leg up and then putting it back down. Kind of turns up and looks at you. Everything here smells kind of fresh and clean, like spring. Even though you're in the middle of a dry desert.
Like, look at the stork. Hello?
The stork opens his mouth. Hello.
Oh, thank God.
There is no God here.
It was going to be really weird if he didn't talk.
If you were just a stork, I was going to be very afraid.
You should be afraid. You are in our realm again. You cross over all the time.
Your realm again?
Oh, yes. You come here often. You don't remember. You never do.
This is the first time I've been here.
No. So the stork stops and like spreads its wings out super wide and like keeps cocking them further and further back and says, "You're in the Fey realm. Time works differently where you come from. Everything keeps stopping and starting again.
I am your son, the stork."
I am your grandfather. Come back to tell you what a fuck up you are. And then my beard falls off.
Time everywhere else flows in a straight line. Your realm, thousands of times, has restarted over and over again. It's really quite a pain.
You're telling me. What happened last time?
Last time. It has been some time since you have arrived here. Hundreds and hundreds of days. But I remember you. I should introduce myself like I normally do.
I'm assuming you know my name is Daka Zove.
I know that that is what you call yourself, yes. Sometimes we have been bonded together. There have been times where I have been your familiar. I am called Paris. I am, desert fairy would be the closest in your language. There are a few Fae out here, but there is life, and so there's Fae.
Have I been to the desert before? This is my first recollection of being.
You come many times. Many times.
When is this? Time works differently here, I realize.
Time works differently where you begin. For everyone else, time works the same.
Have I ever talked about my blood brothers, my friends?
Several times. It happens from time to time. If you're asking how long you've been doing this for, the first time I met you was maybe 4,000 years ago.
4,000?
Yes. Your realm is over and over again.
You met me the first time 4,000 cycles ago.
Oh, hundreds of times. Every once in a while, you forget everything, and we start again. It's okay. I don't hold it against you. When we work together, it is good.
Have you told me this information before?
Many times.
Have I always had this reaction?
Not always. Mostly. Sometimes you are different. Sometimes it gets to you. The madness, you know?
No.
You will soon enough.
Have I ever told you that I'm only 3,000?
That is what you believe, I'm sure.
I don't know what to believe anymore.
Let me put it this way. From your perspective, you think you are 3,000 years old, yes? That is because for you, you keep going like this. For everyone else, it is still going forward every time you go back.
Is it the same from my friends?
I believe so. I've never talked to them except as a familiar.
Mm.
Talking as a stork is not easy, as you might expect. Sometimes the dwarven one speaks animal to me.
What about the big one?
Do you see him ever speaking to a stork?
No, but he speaks to a god sometimes. What about the little one?
Do you see him speaking to a stork?
Yeah. Well, I could see it. I could imagine so, yes.
I will tell you when it happens. How about that?
I'm sure I won't remember.
That's okay. Everyone else will.
Do you know, oh god, what was his name? Face Underwind?
I do. You are asking about a very powerful member of the Umber Court.
They're the first person I remember seeing. Does that mean anything to you?
I think it means that he is watching you.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
You're not a warlock this time around, or at least not yet, but I'm sure you must know that Fae are... Well, even by our standards, we can be difficult to understand.
What do you mean not yet?
Sometimes you become a warlock. I told you, I've become your familiar many times. Have you not ever considered taking the pact?
I met with a big eye.
Let me tell you, I am better than that big eye. Huh? He like ribs you with one of his wings. Huh? Huh?
Yeah, well, you're a lot more personable, for sure.
Well, we work good together.
What can you tell me about my warlock self?
Well, he's a lot like you, because he's still you.
Is he as crazy as, I don't know if I ever told you about someone named Aardvark?
No one is crazy like Aardvark.
That's good to hear.
The giant eye is the patron of madness. It is difficult to maintain one's sanity as a warlock like that. As a Fey warlock, emotions run deep, but you still seek secrets. You wish to understand the things around you. Not much changes from your time as a ranger. You do get to fire off weird blasts from your hand, though.
That sounds kind of cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Can I do that in conjunction with shooting my regular? You know what? That's a mechanical question.
He says, why would you need to fire
D&D fifth
arrows
edition
when you can
by-
fire infinite amount of blasts from longer range? I once saw you hit someone with a blast from almost 1,000 feet.
Blasts of an eldritch variety.
Yes. No, wait, you're not here in the stream.
You know, just nostalgia's sake. Ranger has always been what I've known. I guess.
I assume you believe that's true, yes. If
I
this is not
assume-
the cycle where we meet again, that is fine. I am sure in 100 days, or maybe 500 or 5,000, we will meet again.
Have I ever given you
Very
something?
interesting.
You have given me many things.
Have I ever told you to hold on to an item for me
Yes?
that I will come back and get?
Mm-hmm.
Do you still have an item like that?
No, I've given it to you many times.
But not this time.
Last time we met, you were deep within it. Very crazy.
Was I ever... I guess every time I've met with you, I've been a patron of... Or I've been a... Whatever you call the employee.
we're a Fae. A Green Knight, yes.
So I'm
no.
assuming it.
Your madness is not from becoming a warlock. Your madness is from your death. It weighs on your mind, drives you crazy. It is called it. It is like a thing growing inside you, a shadow of yourself.
What was the name of that thing?
What
There
thing?
was a name of the crystal dragon, the symbol on our necks.
I don't know. Just write it down.
Oh,
I
was
wrote
like
somewhere.
infinity something.
no, well, yeah, but there's a specific name for it. I believe it's in the notes.
Yeah, picture of a crystal dragon. Sithlak.
Sithlak is the name of the book where you found the.
Right.
It's the name of the curse book.
I don't think we ever found the name of the thing. I just like in the notes, it's just a picture of a crystal dragon with a rune underneath.
Rune for time underneath the symbol. Yeah.
Yeah. Do I still have? I'm assuming I wouldn't know. I'd like rub the back of my neck and be like,
Yes, it's there.
"Is this always with me?"
Yes. If you need me, just call out my name. Paris. I will come.
I was about to call him Prince.
It's not Prince, it's Paris. Peris. You can feel yourself starting to wake up. If there's anything else you want to talk to him about briefly. Hear the sound of Finley going to the bathroom, just like, oh,
God, this is so good.
You're trying to stay asleep.
Yes, it's just like say hello to Sunderwind for me. I guess I'll be seeing you again soon.
All right, he takes flight into the air.
No, ask about your child packs.
He's gone. Paris flies off into the sky, and as that happens, you open your eyes, waking up. And that is where we're going to take our break.
Cool.
We'll be back in about 8
I'm
minutes.
gonna make a sandwich.
Yeah, good. Make me a sandwich. You remember when people used to say that? They're like, bitch, go to the kitchen and make me a sandwich. It's the worst people on Ventrilo or TeamSpeak or Team Fortress 2
dude.
voice chat.
Those are some old ass fucking.
Yeah. Mumble.
That's like back in the Wazaa era.
Pre-Discord. Everything sucked. All right, we'll be back shortly, guys.
Back when Bud Light was refreshing.
Fuck.